Hey y'all. Okay. It's dark. I apologize for that. But it's dark and it's cold in my room because I'm really trying to rest and relax before I go to work. So I'm just going to say, bear with me as I give y'all this story time and kind of relax a little bit before I go to work. Now, first, there was a story time done on my first page that was about me almost getting mauled by a bear. All right, and then on this page, I had done a story time about during that time, because I talked about where I lived during that time. And then I talked about me going to my cousin's house for like a month, and I was talking about the girl that he got me to go and pick up. Um, and then from there, I also told a story about a night where, well, because I stayed with him for like a month, and there was a cousin that I met through him that I told y'all the story time about, ended up walking away like 2 hours from some crazy place she took me. But okay, now I'm gonna get some expanded details about during that time. You understand? I said I was gonna tell some more. So it was so much going on, but I'm gonna do the best I can with the time given to just expand a little bit. So, like I said, I was staying, at that time, and this was before I had gone to my cousin's house for that month, where a lot of stuff was just compounding, all in all aspects, all areas of my life. A lot of stuff was just compounding. All right, at that point in time, I was staying in a trailer, and my kids were going most weeks, most weekends, whatever, to go and stay with my mama because, they liked going to her house. She had the pool, it's summertime, she had everything, all the little amenities. So they loved going to her house. So they would be at her house a lot. I was working in the tobacco field, and by this time I had chopped, and sucked, but this was, and I had done a little bit. I couldn't go inside the barn because of allergies, but I had worked in the barn a little bit. And while they were doing, I forgot what was going on, but they were doing that part, and I think it was the barn. And so I was, sitting out for a minute. But during that time, like what really ended up kind of pushing me to go to my cousin's house. Oh, it was so much going on. But what had just happened was that I had a relative. I'm not going to give, what it was, but I had a relative that had ended up coming and staying at my house because she had blamed me for something that wasn't my fault. She was living somewhere. Another relative of mine had followed me over there. She had called me, told me to come to her house. I went over there on my way. I saw another relative who was not allowed at the house. He walked with me up there. We get up there, and the lady ended up kicking her out because he had come up there. So she blamed me. She just showed up at my door one day, and she's like, "I'm moving in with you." So I'm like, "Okay." She comes in, and God rest her soul, she's deceased now. I'm not talking about her. I love her to death. But so much happened in her life. Like when she was in, she was in. But when she was out, she was way out. And so she had showed up at my door, and she started acting really weird. Like I had a schedule where I left every day to go out because I wasn't working in the tobacco field, so I still needed to make money. And I would go out and do like work for my uncles, runs to the store for them, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I would leave out every day. And she didn't want me to. She was getting upset because she did not want me to. And she's like, you keep leaving me in the house with myself. And then she would do weird stuff like, she'd be like, come lay down with me. You ain't laying down with nothing but a bra and drawers on, and you want me to lay down and cuddle with you. She's like, come and lay down and cuddle with me. And I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that. And she's like, well, I know you're going through a lot, and blah blah blah. It was just weird. So I would never do that. But so I ended up with my bills, with her being there being really high. And somehow it had ended up with a leak up under the trailer, a water leak. So that ended up shoot my water bill up. Like, it was insane. And it was a lot of other stuff, excuse me, going on at that time. But I had come home one day from, working for my uncle's, and all of her stuff was gone, and she was upset with me. But she had gone around talking about me real bad, and I was stuck with them bills, and it was a lot of other stuff going on, y'all. And like I said, I was just sitting out like, man, I just want to get away. And cuz pulled up, and that was that. You know what I'm saying?